Hi everybody, it's Kerrie here at the Northeast Autism Society and I'm joined today by Tony and Danny from the Life Science Centre.
Hello.
And today I'm really excited because we're going to be doing an activity that we've done before in Science Club and it's called Sink or Swim Squid. So Danny, can you tell us some more about this activity?
I will. In fact, I will introduce you to the sink or swim squid.
Ooh, I can see him at the top of the bottle.
Yeah, just here, a little squid. And it's doing a pretty good job of swimming at the top of the bottle. But let's have a think about the sinking. I'm going to give the bottle a squeeze.
Oh, looks like he's diving down to the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah. And then if I stop squeezing.
Ah, and he floats back up.
Yeah, so this is our sink or swim squid, and it's a nice fun activity to make, but also one to play with afterwards. Shall we give it a go?
Yeah, please. That looks really fun. I'm going to watch you and Tony make this today.
All right then, we will need a pen with a lid,
Pen with a lid,
some blue tack,
blue tack,
string,
string,
scissors.
scissors. I'm going to be very careful with these, and if you need to ask a grown-up for help, please do.
Definitely. Also, a 2-liter plastic bottle full of water.
All right, 2-liter bottle of water.
And finally, a jug or a large cup, again with water in.
Tall glass of water.
Okay, first thing, we'll need the lid from the pen.
Okay.
This is going to be the body of our squid, and we're going to take the blue tack and put a tiny amount over the hole in the top of the pen lid to seal it up.
Okay. There we go. I've made sure there's no gaps.
That's good. Yep, squash it all down, make a nice seal. We'll then need a bigger bit of blue tack to go on this bit that sticks out at the bottom of the lid. Maybe about the size of a marble should probably be a good amount.
Marble size. Oh, the blue tack's sticky when you work with it, isn't it?
Definitely makes your fingers a little bit sticky as well. So I'm going
Roll
to
it.
squash that onto the end, squash it all the way around so it's firmly attached.
Ah, I see. There we go.
There we go. This is the main body of our squid, but it doesn't look much like a squid at the moment. So
no, it doesn't.
Let's think about squids and the body parts they have that make them look the way they do. What are their most notable features?
They have tentacles.
They do. They have a lot of tentacles. I think that's a very important part of being a squid. Anything else?
They also have quite big eyes because they dive deep into the ocean where it's really dark. So they have to have big eyes to be able to see.
Exactly. I think those are good features to focus on. Big, round eyes and lots of dangling tentacles. Let's start by giving our squid some eyes, and we'll need a bit more blue tack, 2 very small balls of blue tack. I'd say smaller than a pea. And once you've got the 2 little balls, you want to stick them onto the body of your squid. I'm doing mine quite near to the bottom because I think that's what a squid looks like. But really, if you wanted to put them higher up or anywhere else to make your squid look how you want it to, I think that would work too. And I'm going to use the pen to poke a pupil into each of the eyes just to make it look a little bit happier.
That's good. That's the bit that's going to collect as much light as possible in the darkness of the ocean.
Exactly. There we go. Got some nice pupils on my squid. All right, but our squid still needs its tentacles, and that is what our string is for. I'm going to cut a length of string about somewhere between 10 and 15 centimeters long. You don't have to measure it, just kind of roughly, I think about there looks good. And then I'm going to do that a few times. I think I'm going to go for 3 lengths. That will give me a good number of tentacles.
I think I'm going to go for 5 lengths because then my squid will have 10 tentacles.
That's fair. Yeah, real life squid have 10 tentacles. I'm going to start with 3 bits of string, which will give me 6 tentacles, and see how it looks. But if you want yours to be more realistic, then yeah, you can definitely go up to 10. Once we have our string, we're going to lay it over that bit that sticks out of the pen lid and tie it on so that there's a long bit dangling off either side that looks like tentacles.
I'm doing it. I've laid my squid down on the table because I find it easier to tie the knots that way.
That's a good idea. And if you're not confident at tying knots, find someone else who in your house who is, and they'll be able to help you out.
Do you need to do any?
A little bit fiddly.
I was going to say, do you need to do a fancy knot? I'm just doing the bit that's like the first bit when you tie your shoelace.
I think that's probably good enough. Yeah, just one simple kind of over the top and loop it through. All right, my squid is ready with all of its tentacles.
That looks great, Danny. He looks more like a squid now. Now he's got tentacles and eyes.
Exactly, just a few little features. Just a little bit of string and blue tack, and it already looks a lot more like a squid. And that's a nice squid as well, Tony, already going for a swim. Yeah, we now need to see if our squid will actually sink or swim. We want it to float when it's in the bottle and we're not touching it. And we could just stick it in a bottle and have a go, but it'll be quite tricky to get it out. So instead, we're going to use the jug or the big glass of water, pop our squid in the water and see what it does.
Oh, Tony, yours is floating, but it's going down a little bit, isn't it?
I'm going to get all my tentacles wet to see if that changes. Ah, see, now all the tentacles are wet. It's sunk.
Yeah,
how's yours doing, Danny?
Mine, it's sunk a little bit, but not too much. So I think we both need to take a little bit of blue tack off the big lump at the bottom to make our squid lighter.
Okay. This is
and the blue tack will be wet now, won't it? So it might feel a little bit stickier, might feel different.
Exactly. It's almost, I'd say slimy almost.
Oh,
yeah, slimy.
Some of our young people love slime, so they might like that bit.
It's an interesting texture, that's for sure. I'm going to try again. So take a little bit off. And, oh, it seems to be floating this time.
Ooh,
mine's good.
Mine's kind of halfway floating and sinking. Should I take a tiny little bit more off just in case?
I'd say a little bit more, yeah. You can take as long as you need on this step until you get your squid floating just at the surface.
Oh, that's a bit better.
Oh yeah, that looks good. In that case, we're ready to put our squid into our bottles of water. We'll make sure to get all the tentacles in, make sure none of the bits fall off. And yep, mine's still floating at the top, so that's good. And then screw the lid on tight. And now...
My squid.
Oh, Tony, what happened? Yours has sank.
It sank to the bottom. Oh dear.
I think you might need to empty your bottle and have another play with the blue tack.
Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I've taken a little bit of the blue tack off the squid and I'm going to try again. Yay!
Oh, that looks good. All right then, Tony, time to pop it into the bottle and screw the lid on tight.
Okay. Great, it's floating.
That's a good start. So it's doing the swimming
Hold on
part of
tight.
sink or swim. Now to give the bottle a squeeze and let's see the sinking part.
Hey, there it goes. And if I let go, he's
And
swimming.
yeah, it floats back up.
Wow, look at that. That's good.
So how does it work? When we're squeezing the bottle, does that kind of increase the pressure? Is it to do with pressure?
Exactly, yeah. There's a tiny pocket of air at the top of the bottle and a tiny pocket of air inside the pen lid. And so the pen lid and its air bubble and all the tentacles and the blue tack and things like that together are less dense than the water. And things that are less dense will float.
Is it a bit like sometimes when you're learning to swim, you wear armbands, which are like bubbles of air as well. So overall, you and the armbands float because you're less dense.
Exactly. But when we squeeze the bottle, the air pockets shrink because there's less space in the bottle, but the same amount of stuff inside it. And so, because it has a smaller air bubble or smaller armbands, if you will, it's more dense in the water and it sinks down. But then when we let go, the pressure goes back to normal, the air pocket expands and it floats back up.
I know when our young people made it in science clubs, some of them had them at night time and they found them quite relaxing just to watch them float up and down.
Definitely.
Well, that was a great activity. I love that one. That is definitely one of my favourites. So I think over to our young people, if they want to make their own squid and share their photos and videos, that would be brilliant. We would love to see them. So thanks, Tony. Thanks, Danny. And I shall see you very soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.